Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another review on the player objectives, the future academy star Marc Cucurella. We're going to be going through the card, his detailed stats, clip summary as we do usually, but we're also going to go through what the objectives are to get him, his comparison to the 86 rated card in both stat terms and in terms of general feel, as well as my stats with the 86 card, just to show you guys how that played as well, and some other stuff that we will find useful during this review. Before we get into all that, if I could ask you guys to please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when I upload, and comment down below what your thoughts are on this card and how far you're going to go into the objectives. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So guys, getting into what you have to do to get this Cucurella card and what you have to do to get the various stages of this Cucurella card. So the first one is score 4 goals using Spanish players. Fairly easy to do, guys. My personal recommendation, guys, is to do all of this in squad battles. They do give you that option, and I give EA a lot of props for that, for allowing you guys to play this card in squad battles. I don't like the friendly game modes, especially if you're struggling to get some of the objectives. I personally don't, but I know there are a lot of people that will struggle with them. So it's nice to have this card to do in squad battles. So score 4 goals using Spanish players. Of course, you can use anyone, so that's really nice to have. Once you have done that, then you get the 82 Cucurella card, which is at left back, guys. Concede no more than 1 goal in 3 separate wins with the 82 overall Future Stars Cucurella. Now this is where it starts to get difficult, because of course online people are constantly going at you. They're likely to score more than 1 goal unless you are a very good defender. So I would recommend doing this in squad battles. Play the low rated 60 rated squads, hold them to 1 goal at least, and just stop them from scoring, and that will get you this objective done. The next one is assist 2 goals with the 82 Cucurella. Now guys, what I would do actually here is I would move him to left mid, play a left back in behind him to link him in for chemistry to help him out a little bit, but get the assists like that, because otherwise you'll be stuck trying to get assists from left back, and it is quite difficult to do that if you're doing that in rivals, or if you choose to do that in squad battles. I would just put him at the left mid slot. Assist using the 82 Future Stars Cucurella in 4 separate matches, on minimum professional difficulty or in rivals. Now again guys, do this in the squad battles mode if you can, if you want to, sorry. The rivals, it is more difficult to do this, especially because guys are better defenders than those 60 rated squads. Of course you can do this, it's easily on world class against those squads as well, so you can bang through these professional difficulty. It'll be very easy to get this done. It will take you more time in squad battles because you won't get any rage quits, but guys, it's guaranteed to get done if you do it that way. After you've done that guys, you will unlock the 84 Cucurella. And this card is pretty decent, but not quite there in terms of being able to do everything in rivals. So the next one is score 3 outside of the box goals using this Cucurella card. Now he does have decent long shots, but guys, you will really struggle to do this in rivals. I got very lucky in how I was getting them because people were rushing out with the keeper, but you won't always get those opportunities. I think in squad battles, again, playing against those bronze goalkeepers, you'll get those opportunities just to smash them from outside the box, and you keep lining them up and firing them like some sort of artillery gunner. Eventually you will get those goals to go in. Assist 5 goals using 84 Future Stars Cucurella. Now guys, this can be done in 1 game, so you don't need to spend too much time doing this. Put him in at the cam slot or in a forward position and just get those assists, quickly bang them out in 1 game, and that's done as well. Next guys, make sure you do this. Assist with a through ball using 84 Cucurella in 4 separate squad battle wins, or in rivals for the chance to earn the 86 one. Now guys, if you're going to do squad battles, you just have to win those games. Again, make sure you're getting those through ball assists. Do that one first, then do your assists elsewhere, or do the shots from outside the box, because it would really hack you off if you didn't do those assists. The other 2 can be done all in 1 game. That one has to be done over 4 separate games, so please guys, do that one first before you do the other 2. After that, you will unlock the 86 Cucurella, which is usable inside division rivals. I think I use this card in division rivals myself. You guys will see the stats for that, sorry, coming up further on in this video. I think he's more than usable, especially in that left mid spot or the cam spot or the central midfield spot. I think he's a great player. Guys, you have to get a few things to get the 87 rated card. Assist with 86 Cucurella in 5 separate squad battle wins or in rivals. Now guys, I did this in rivals of course, so it wasn't too bad for me. I think you guys can use this for rivals, but again, if you are struggling in rivals, just do it in squad battles. There's no harm in doing it in squad battles. There's nothing wrong with doing it in squad battles. It doesn't get you the card in any of a lesser way. You get the card same as everyone else. Assist 3 goals using crosses. Now I did struggle with this a little bit, but in the end I just ended up spamming crosses. Once I'd got that assist with him that you need to get later on in these points, just keep spamming crosses. You'll have a striker in there who can head the ball. You will eventually get a goal or a cross assist with him. Score an assist in 3 separate matches. Now guys, this one is actually fairly easy, I think, because at this point this Cucurella can at least finish something. The 84 one does struggle to finish, but the 86 is pretty decent at finishing, so it's not too bad in terms of getting this done as well. It's more difficult if you are in rivals, of course. Squad battles, again, very easy to do, and it's not wins either, so you just have to get it in 3 separate games. Next one, assist with Cucurella in 13 separate games. Now guys, this is a big one. You do not want to miss the assists on these ones. So my recommendation would be focus on getting a ground assist with Cucurella in all your matches first. Once you've done that assist in that match with Cucurella on the ground, then focus on the crosses or the goal as well, or the outside, you know, whatever else you need to do in terms of the objectives for this card. I would always focus on this one first, because if you don't get that done, you'll just have to play more games and more games until you get it done. The last one is, of course, play 25 games. Now this, of course, counts with all of the versions of Cucurella that you will get. So guys, by the time you do them all, you'll have somewhere close to 22, I think 23 games played. It's just a couple more games after that. You can go and put him into friendlies and just leave your controller to play by itself, and that will count as the games for you. So guys, easy enough to do that as well. Overall guys, I don't think any of these objectives are too bad, and I do think he's worth the grind. We'll get more into that as the video goes on, but I think these objectives aren't too bad. The only one I would say is a bit annoying is this 13 separate assists. Again, do it in squad battles if you need to. The rest of them, really, I didn't feel like they were that bad. The crosses are manageable. It's just a lot of spamming of crosses. People will realize what you're doing as well, so be prepared for that if you are going to play rivals. Of course, squad battles will not have a clue what you're doing, so much easier to do again, but please do bear that in mind. In rivals, someone will be watching for what you're doing. Other than that guys, I think you're fairly easy to get all of this done, and so without further ado, we're going to get into a comparison between the 87 and the 86 Cucurella to see which one is better, and to see why the 87 is better and why I think he is worth it. So guys, we're just going to quickly get into the stat comparison of these two players and whether this player really is that much different from his 86 rated card. Now, as you guys can see from the first couple of things that we're going to look at, the total stats 509 for the 87, 498 for the 86, 2438 in-game stats, and 2387 for the 86. So guys, on the face of it, not that much of a difference. I do, however, think there is a big difference between these two cards. We'll get more into that as we go down. First things first, and it's a big one already, is the pace. 86 pace for the 86 Cucurella, 89 for the 87, and that does make a difference, especially when you put that chemistry style on him. It takes him up to elite pace level as opposed to just very good pace level, which if you're going to play him on the left wing is important. I think in centre midfield is less important, but on that left wing you definitely do need pace to take on some of these fullbacks and keep them away, and I think that boost in pace really does help. In terms of the shooting guys, you've got 84 shooting here, 81 on the 86. I think the biggest one here is the finishing. Now, I do think that the shot power as well is huge in this 87 Cucurella and this 86. I do think that these are both lower than what the game suggests. I think these are that's in the low 90s. I think that's in the high 80s. I do think he hits the ball with great power, and that's something that's really nice in the finishing as well. Overall, his finishing isn't great with the 86. I did struggle to get the assist and goal in the same game. The 87 isn't a lot better, and I will go into that more with the player discussion when we go into that in the next part of the video, but I do think the finishing is lacking on this card, so I would say although it's slightly improved, it is still lacking a fair bit. Overall though guys, I do think that the shooting for this card is a lot better than the 86 as well. Getting into the passing guys, now the passing isn't much different here, and actually I would echo that sentiment that's given with the stats here. The passing, really there is not much to it in terms of the difference between them. Getting into the dribbling guys, now the dribbling again not that much different, but there are very slight differences. The first one is the balance, 3 up on that, 2 up on the agility, 1 up on the composure, which I think again contributes to his poor shooting. We'll get more into that of course in the player breakdown. Ball control and reactions, all of those have gone up, and that for me does add a significant amount to his dribbling. I feel like his dribbling is a lot tighter, a lot quicker to be able to turn and move and just glide past people very easily once you manage to get them on the back foot, freeze them and then drive past them as well. Guys, getting into the defending stats. Now, this is something that, again, there really isn't that much in it between these two cards. I do think that the 87 Cucurella just having slightly better stand tackle defense and sliding tackle is nice. However, I don't think it's that much of a difference, and it doesn't make that much of a difference in game either for me. I think the 86 is just as good at central midfield as the 87 was. Finally, guys, in terms of the physical stats, which you guys can't see right now, but I'm just going to go through it for you. Again, there isn't much difference. The 86 Cucurella has 96 stamina, the 87 has 97. So again, not much difference there. I don't think that contributes highly towards the differences between the card. I think really the pace, the dribbling, and the shooting are where you're looking at the differences in this card, and it really does make a big difference in terms of how this card plays overall in game. Now that we've done that, we're going to look at the team and the player himself. So guys, this is the team that I used Cucurella in. I played him on the left mid side of this 4-2-3-1. I did not try him anywhere else, but guys, what you're going to see in the clips is a compilation of his defensive and attacking capabilities. Not so much defensive, more attacking. But guys, first impressions of this card, I like the 86. The 87 is a level above that card, and you guys have obviously seen that from the stats comparison that we've done and where I've talked you guys through that, but I just loved using this card, especially on that left wing. But without further ado, let's get into the player himself. Cucurella, Marc Cucurella, 5'8", high medium work rates, left-footed 4-star skill moves and 4-star weak foot. Pretty decent in terms of overall information going on there. You know, you've got the high medium work rate, so pretty decent for a winger. Left-footed 4-star moves and 4-star weak foot, so capable of doing it on both feet as well, although he is very left foot dominant, guys. Just please bear that in mind as well. Looking on the face stats of this card as well, you guys could use this in the center of your midfield. The work rates would be the only thing I would worry about, but if you're happy with him getting forward and helping out your attack, then he'll be an absolutely great central midfielder to play in that pocket as well. However, I have done the review on the left hand side to kind of keep it to his natural position and let you guys know how he plays out there. 5 games played, 3 goals scored and 4 assists. Now guys, I'm going to show you some stats that I got with the 86 rated card to give you more of a reflection of how I did with that card. I played all of the games that I did with him in Division Rivals, not one did I do in squad battles, though I would recommend that's the way to go with it. So after we've done this player, I'm going to show you the 86 rated card and the stats I got with him, just so you guys can get a flavour of how decent that card was, because I don't really feel like these stats are reflective, even though they are very good stats. Getting into the chemistry style, guys, I put the engine chemistry style on him. I wanted to boost that dribbling, passing, and pace, especially for a winger. Now, guys, in hindsight, I would probably boost the shooting a little more. That was a real letdown for me at times, but overall, guys, I really love this card, and I think boosting those stats, especially those 3, will benefit you to no end as well. Getting into his attribute details, guys. He has 94 attack position, which is fantastic. Now, the number 1 standout stat, which I loved about this card, was the 97 stamina and the 84 aggression. Sorry, the 2 stats there. They were sensational for me, guys. The way this card is so dynamic and athletic, and I know that's weird to say because it's a FIFA card, it's a virtual player, but this card is super athletic in-game. He just goes up and down that wing so well, takes on fullbacks, doesn't matter what the size is, takes on the centre-backs, creates good chances, is quick on his feet, absolutely phenomenal. His balance is 94 as well, so he holds off defenders relatively well, especially with that 74 strength, that small build, able to get around players really easily as well. And with the boost that I gave him with the chemistry style, it was fantastic to have that level of agility as well with the player. Guys, another thing as well, his passing is really great, especially with his left foot. He's decent with his right foot, but because he's so left foot dominant, he tends to use his left foot for every pass. You can use his right foot though, and it's pretty decent all in all. Guys, the only con of this card, the only one that I found, especially at the left mid position, even in the central midfield position, which may not be so much of a con because you'll take less shots with him, but in the central midfield position, I thought his finishing combined with his composure was too low. Quite often you get into goal scoring positions and he doesn't quite slot it away. He's got a very powerful shot. The 87 shot power is lower than what I think actually. I think it's in the 90s, but he finishes with not great accuracy. He tends to just power up a lot and smash it, and a lot of the time that does work, but you know, a lot of the time it doesn't work as well, and you miss easy chances with the card as well, as you guys will see in some of the clips that come after the 86 review. But overall, guys, that was the only con I found in this card, and that's genuinely, I boosted his pace, and I think you do need to do that, especially if you're going to play him in the left mid or the central midfield spot, especially with so many fast cards now coming out. The athleticism of this card, as well as the dynamic ability of this card with a little bit more pace, just means this card he's a little monster in midfield. He just does everything that you want the card to be able to do. Finally, in terms of traits, we've actually got a few traits on this one, guys. One of the few feature stars cards that we've got a lot of traits on: Flair, Speed Dribbler, and Playmaker, which are all lovely as well for having on a winger or a central midfielder. I really like the fact that they actually gave him more than one trait as well, which was nice to have. Now that we've covered all of that, I'm going to show you guys the stats with the 86 rated card. So guys, very quickly getting into the 86 rated card and the stats that I got with him. Now, I played 15 games with him, 10 goals scored and 17 assists, and that was all at the left wing spot, all in Division Rivals, all in Division 2, guys. So please do understand that this card is very capable as well. However, when I tell you that the 87 rated card is a level above that, it's another level compared to this card. This card is fantastic. I think the 87 rated card is even better than this card, and it's worth the grind to get him. But overall, guys, if you were to do this card, you can see you can get a fantastic return out of him no matter where you play him, what position you play him in. I did move this card central midfield once or twice just to try and get the assist in the games, but overall, guys, I think this card is more than worth it as well. But now that we've covered all of that, we're going to get into some of the clips that I got with him. So guys, getting into some of Marc Cucurella's clips, and what you guys are going to see is mostly his play, of course, as I've mentioned, from the left hand side. Now guys, I wanted to show you guys how this card played on the left hand side, because I think, as we can all tell from his stats and generally his in-game stats, once you look a bit deeper, this card is going to be pretty good at central midfield, and that's probably where I feel a lot of people will use this card. And what I wanted to show you guys was how he did on the wing. If you do want a card that can play out on the wing, that is free, and so you're going to see a lot of the clips that are out on the left wing. Now guys, in an overall attacking sense, I absolutely love this card. I'm first going to go through the pros of this card, which for me, of course, are the brilliant pace, dribbling, strength, composure, all of that stuff in terms of being able to play with the ball, the passing as well. But I will say, guys, the con of this card is the shooting. We'll come on to that in a second. Overall, guys, you are going to see, just in all of these clips, the dynamism, the movement of the player as well, to be able to just turn past players, move again, and quickly get past them. And then it's a short burst of speed as well, and then good amounts of strength too, to hold off defenders, to create easy chances, and to get easy goals. And it's the same story over and over again. If you can't get through one gap, Cucurella will find a way through another gap, or win you a foul in some way, or there, as you saw, a penalty. Again, guys, holding off the fullback there from getting back into him. This is a bit of a longer sequence here, and it just shows you his overall play here. I was, of course, trying to force the ball a little bit to him, but overall, I did think that he played very well in the sequence. Again, winning the ball back there, lovely turning and dribbling, a reset there, luckily gets away with the pass, and again, unfortunate with the shooting, which is the major con of this card, guys. I think this card has very powerful shooting. I think the shot power is low compared to what the card suggests. I think it's in the low 90s. However, guys, I would say that as a general rule of thumb, this Cucurella card, when you're trying to direct a shot in the goal, tends to just smash the ball and it's positioned later. You know, if you can hit it through the goalkeeper with this card, then that's what I think this card is actually doing when you're shooting with the ball. He's not the most accurate. He's still a decent finisher. It's just not top level in terms of winger. Now, guys, what I will say is that you can obviously improve this. The one thing you cannot improve that much is his composure, which sits at around 82, I believe, as we discussed. So, guys, this is a little bit low for a card as well. I mean, you do generally want that composure to be a little bit higher. You can always boost that finishing, which is sitting at 84, but the composure is something which will hold you back in terms of finishing with this card. However, guys, I think that if you were to play this both as a winger or as a central midfielder, I think this card, the shooting does not hold it back from wanting to grind out this card. I think the 87 card was vastly improved compared to the 86 card, and although some of the stats are marginal, as you guys saw earlier, I think that there's so much extra to this 87 card. It just has that little bit of an oomph factor, which is something that it's almost intangible, because you can't describe exactly what it is, but it just plays like such a better card. Even though I love the 86, I thought the 86 was a perfectly serviceable player, and that was actually where my review was headed towards until I tried this 87 card, which was phenomenal for me in every department. Now, guys, what I will say as well is that with this card comes phenomenal passing. I did get a number of assists with the 86 card, as you guys have seen, but with the 87 as well, I got almost an assist a game and nearly a goal every second game. So, guys, overall, the returns from this card as well, even playing as a left winger, if you chose to play him there, compared to a central midfielder, are fantastic. It's not like he will let you down in terms of production, and apart from that shooting factor, every other part of this card delivers on end product. His crossing is fantastic, his passing is great, his dribbling is great, his chance creation is phenomenal. So, guys, it's a really fun card to use. You guys are going to now see the 3 goals that I managed to score with him. All of them, of course, left-footed pings into the back of the net. This one here, a lovely 1-2 with Van Basten, using that speed, getting in behind and smashing it into the back of the net. So, guys, getting into this final Cucurella summary, the key stats for me, guys: the great stamina, the great aggression, especially when you boost those sections of his card. It could be really fantastic, especially the aggression section. The passing is phenomenal as well. The dribbling's pretty good when you boost it with the chemistry. So I think overall this card's a really nice do-it-all card, especially if you were to play him on left mid or in the midfield. He tracks back well. You could play him in a 5-3-2 at that left wing back slot as well. I think he's more than capable of playing that slot as well. In terms of my recommended chemistry style, guys, now I did put an engine on him, and that's what it does to the card. And as you guys can see, the pace, the passing, and the dribbling is very good. I do, however, in hindsight, think the shooting needs a boost. So I would be looking to boost something that does pace, shooting, and maybe passing, or something that has a pace combination in it. I don't know whether a hunter is the best way to go or whether something else would be. However, guys, I think you should look at all these chemistry styles and pick out something that works for you. If you feel like the pace isn't that much of an issue for you guys, then keep his pace as it is, depending on where you're going to play him. If you're going to play him in the midfield, the pace isn't as much of an issue. Use that chemistry style to boost other factors of this card, maybe his passing or his dribbling, or even if you were to play this card up front. I do think it's capable of doing a job up front. I wouldn't recommend it, but I do think it can. You would look to boost his shooting there. So wherever you guys feel like this card may suit you best, use the chemistry style to boost him accordingly. Next of all, guys, we're going to get into the similar sorts of players. Now, they've put Ryan Sessegnon in here. Of course, I cannot attest to that as this card has not been released yet. You can't get it yet from the seasonal objectives. However, guys, I really don't think there's that many cards that are similar to this card in game. I think the Xavi card has similarities because of the size and the dynamism of the card, especially the Prime version. However, this card is in a league of his own because of his pace and physicality. He really does embody that whole element of being a dynamic midfielder, being able to play every part of the game very well. And I think especially with that tackling as well, he's so underrated at being a good player in that regard. Finally, guys, getting into his linkability, he's got some perfect links to players like Angel and Mata. But if we get into the strong, this is where it starts to get interesting. He's got links, of course, to that Future Stars Fati, all those Spanish icons. David Silva's Record Breaker, Iago Aspas' Player of the Month, Oyarzábal's Player of the Month if you choose to play a 3-4-3. Of course, Jesus Navas as well, however you want to link that card in. This card really does have a lot of nice linkability options as well. Finally, guys, getting into my recommendation as to whether you should grind this card out or just stop at the 86. Guys, unlike the Renier card, which I said you should stop at the 85, I do think the 87 is worth the grind in this case. I think this card is sensational, especially compared to the 86. I think that additional level of dynamism and brilliant athletic ability really does help this card shine in its own right and help it out in terms of just being a great player to add into your squad. And you can link him in so easily with that Spanish nationality. Really is a fantastic card to use. And in my opinion, grind it out, guys. Get it done. Get him in your squads and try him out for yourself. Hope you guys did enjoy this review. If you did, please do smash that like button. And until next time, I will see you all in a bit.